Right, hello everybody. This is me, Andy Gray, one grey dot. Okay, and we are illustrating as much as we can of my new story in real time, in real life. Okay, so I've started looking at some of the videos that we've made. So we've made 4 videos so far to do with all of this, and I thought a few improvements. So number 1 is down here. We have, or up there, somewhere, around here, up there. On the sides and along the bottom. We actually have the I've created a little frame and a little picture, so you can see me at the beginning in it, and you can see my the Facebook group for the story. So if you actually join the group, please join the group. If you join the group, then you will be able to read the story kind of like episodically, so a couple of pages maybe a day, as I draw the story and I upload it, and you'll be able to see it. Or you can follow it through on Beanstalk Story on Instagram. Okay, so please do all of that. I'm also going to change the format slightly because I've been getting really bored watching my own videos, and I had to edit it and stuff like that. It's like, ugh, it's boring. So what we're going to do is I'm going to talk a little bit about the theme for the day, so I can be enthusiastic and everything else, because I've noticed that when I get onto the video and the drawing, I suddenly start going really deadpan and not really saying a lot, because I can't draw at the same time as talk. Not very well anyway. So what we're going to do is I'm going to do talk now, and then we're going to start the video. I'll do the drawing, and hopefully that'll work. And what else I'm going to do is I'm going to speed up the video recording at the same time. Okay. So that actually it'll only be about 15 minutes long. What I do recommend is I'm not putting any music on this, because you know what YouTube are like for saying, oh, you put some music on it, which is no good at all. Boring, makes me cross. I'm a little bit irritated. So because YouTube are so tight on not having music on your video, I thought, well, I could make some. And I thought, do you know what? Not yet. I'm not in the mood for making music. So instead of having all those problems and stuff like that, I thought, I know, let's make a recommendation. Because if you're watching this on computer or a PC or a Mac, take your pick, then you can actually open another YouTube channel, and you can, using that YouTube channel, you can then play music at the same time as watching another screen. Usually that's rubbish, because normally there is sound running on both, and then it all kind of like goes a bit weird and stuff like that. So this is what I've done. I've put a link below, get this, I put a link below to a video that I found of music which may go with this. It might be 80s music, which is kind of like what it was in my youth, or it could be 90s music, or it could be some dance tracks. I like dance music as well, so a bit of EDM maybe. And you can just press the button, and I'll make sure that it's long enough to cover the whole period of the video, maybe a bit longer as well, and you can let it play, so you can see the drawing going on, and you can have some music from something else, and it'll be speedy and all that kind of thing, and we won't get in trouble with YouTube. Yes! Anyway, there we go. Right, so today's subject is going to be all about, so should we type this in? Let's type it in. It's going to be a bit of a grunt, really. It's going to be a bit of a complaint, and not a big complaint, really. And the complaint is this. Why are fine art students not taught to draw? Okay, now I'm not saying that all fine art students can't draw. Okay, I'm not saying that, and nor am I saying that they can't draw, nor am I saying anything else. But it came this from a little message I had from somebody this week. And I won't go into details, because I felt quite sorry for them actually, but I've come across it, and I'll explain why in a moment. But they wrote to me, and they said, Andy, love your illustration, so thank you very much, that's great. And they love the lightness and the line work or something like that. And they were asking me another question to do with publishing and children's books. But they also said, I've got a fine arts degree. I thought, yes, fine arts degree person, and I can't draw. It's like, what? You're sorry, say again, you can't draw? I can't draw. Yeah, what do you mean you can't draw? You've gone to university. You've drawn. You have. No, can't draw. I'm kind of like going, what? What do you mean you can't draw? Ah! And it kind of like did my head in a little bit. But it's not the first time I've come across it. So many years ago, when I went up as a lad, actually I was a bit older than a lad because I was married, and me and the missus decided to go and do an A-level course. Yeah, that's above. What do you call it? I don't know what you call it in America. It's kind of like above O-levels, GCSE. I have no idea. Probably when you go to college, you might do it. It's before degree level, but underneath, but above basic stuff you do. Anyways, it's quite deep, and we went to do it in an evening course. And so we went along, and Anne-Marie did some lace making. She's very good at lace making, and I did this A-level art course, and there was no writing in it. It was all about portfolio work and art. And I went because it was in 1992, I think it would have been, maybe 1991. And so there was no internet really to talk about, nothing useful anyway. So certainly no YouTube, you couldn't learn anything. And there were no books that I'd found on how to blend oil paints and how to work with acrylics to be able to teach you to do really fine illustrations, really good illustrations, or sort of like paint like the masters. And I really wanted to paint like the masters. And you can go on YouTube now, and you can go and you can find how to do, really good paintings and using Photoshop. And actually all Photoshop's doing is duplicating the techniques of glazing and all that kind of thing, which were used by the masters. But in those days, there was nothing about that. And I tried to get books and everything. No, couldn't find it. Couldn't find anybody to teach me. So I went to A-level, and I walked in. And it was all right at first, And the lady teaching us, she had this great, huge canvas at the back. I mean, it was probably about 20 foot by 30 foot, something ridiculous, that she was working on in the college. And she was teaching us, and she gave us a project to do. And the project was to create a book dummy. So that's into books then. To create a book dummy for the Owl and the Pussycat. The Owl and the Pussycat went to see in a beautiful pea green boat. They took some money and plenty of honey wrapped up in a £5 note. The owl looked up at the stars above and sang to a small guitar. A beautiful pussy, oh pussy, my love, what a beautiful pussy you are. You are what a beautiful pussy you are. And so it goes on. And she said she wanted us to create a book dummy, which was going to be kind of like a fanfold book, that would stretch out, and then you could illustrate it. And she said, only do it in thumbnail stage. Now, me being me, I didn't really listen. So I thought what she was saying was to create a book that size, right? It's a very small book, and illustrate it completely. So I did. And I illustrated this tiny book in watercolor with inks on it. And I'd already said to her that in an earlier session, I said, I want you to teach me how to paint like the old masters. And she said, I don't know how. So I was getting a bit twitchy by then. Anyway, I walked in with this little booklet, and everybody else had done their scratch drawings and everything else. And she looked at my watercolor work and she said, I can't draw like that. You're better than I am. And it was like, I'm sorry. And one of the rules of life, which I've tried to do, is surround yourself with people who are better than you so that they will teach you, and so you will learn, so you'll get better. And so with that, my uncle was far better, but my uncle lived too far away. It was like, oh, you can't draw. What? Right, that's it. So I kind of walked out. I couldn't be bothered. And I never had another lesson since. So when this young lady came to me and messaged me and said that she'd done a fine art degree and she couldn't draw, I wasn't overly surprised. But look, here's the thing. If you want to learn how to draw, then I'm going to be creating this undrawing course, which will help you to explore it. But go on Udemy, go and get a book on sketching. Buy the sketchbooks. My son makes mine, and at some point we're going to be selling those online as well. It's going to cost you about a couple of quid for some really good quality paper. And just draw and draw and draw and keep drawing, and don't stop drawing every day. Spend an hour. I had a lad round here with his mum on Monday, and he's quite interested in becoming an illustrator. He showed me his work, and it was really good. And I said, how many? And he's only 11 years old. I said, how much do you draw? And he said, I spend an hour a day drawing. Now, if he keeps that up, can you imagine how good he's going to be? Already, I was looking at some of the dragons. I mean, some of his stuff he was done was a bit naive and a bit simple, but some of the dragons he did were phenomenal. And I said, did you copy these? He went, no. And he said, I learnt from a book and then I've just started to draw them and I keep going. And it's like, you're really good. And you're 11. I think I just lost me. Hang on. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. Look, where have I gone? Come on. This is the only problem of using your phone to... There we go, we're back. There's no problem using a phone for this. I'm getting a webcam. So anyway, I kind of like... I thought, you know what, if he keeps going, and he doesn't need to do a course or anything, just drawing an hour a day in a sketchbook, that's 365 hours a year. After 10 years, that'll be 3,000 hours of drawing he'll have done. And all you got to do is literally draw what's around you. You know, sometimes draw what's in your imagination or whatever, and you just get better at it just by doing it. You know, so like, you know, reflect back, you know, go back through your sketchbooks and work out, say, well, what do I like, what do I not like, you know, which line do I like, and then you get other books and you learn from that. But again, yeah, we're going to do it all in the undrawing course. And there's so much you can learn from online and for free and stuff. Yeah, and I've got friends who I'm watching on Instagram who've gone and got a sketching course, and they've started off a bit ropey at the beginning, and now they're sort of like, you know, they're already within 6 months because they're drawing every day, producing really good stuff. So here's my lesson to you fine art artists out there, you know, students just starting and all the rest of it. Get a darn sketchbook and get your pencil out and start drawing. And try to draw accurately as well. And the reason why I can do what I can do is because I can also draw really, really accurately. I'm a draftsman, not just an illustrator. So, and the illustrations and the scratchy style of illustration I kind of like do comes from a style I've developed, all right? And yes, it's been influenced by Quentin Blake. No lies about that, but at the same time, the style is my own. Okay? So, that's it. That's my kind of like lecture over. Yeah, and my complaint to the establishment, will you please teach your jolly fine art students to draw? Right, with all of that, I'm putting my earplugs on, I'm turning the sound on the microphone off, and we're going to get going on some illustrations. So I'm going to speed up the video now. Don't forget, click the link down below to find a YouTube video, which I think will sound pretty good. And we're going to get on with this. So I'm just going to drag my picture over here somewhere. A bit like that. There we are. Make it a bit smaller. Because you don't really need to look at me, do you? There we are. Okay. And there we go. We should be able to turn the sound off. Okay. Have fun. Here we go.